Today is June 27th, and we're joined by Frank the Tank. Between the Bases starts right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to an episode of Between the Bases podcast. My name is Noke. Alongside me is Mo. And today we're joined by Frank the Tank. Frank, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Getting ready for another road trip, going to Vegas and Arizona this weekend.
How was your first road trip? I know you went to Chicago. You went to Milwaukee. How was it?
Well, a dozen could have went better, but everything else was fine.
You enjoyed some good Mets baseball?
Yeah, they're playing well. I guess the June swoon was replaced by the May malaise.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on them sweeping our New York Yankees?
That was an absolute thorough ass kicking where the Mets played well in every way, except maybe they let the Yankees have that one crack when they got back in the first game, but Reed Garrett buckled down after the grand slam, and now the Mets only have to worry about 8 more days without Diaz.
Yeah, Frank, do you think the Grimace Mets, their winning is sustainable? You think they really can make a run at the playoffs this year?
I don't know. I still don't think they're that great. But the National League is so mediocre.
Yeah.
Why not?
Do you see them being bothered?
I mean, I don't know what they should do. I mean, if they think they could get Pete Alonso back at the end of the year after sign him as a free agent, let him test the waters, then you just roll with it. Maybe try to buy something small. But I don't think you go all in either way right now.
You mentioned Pete Alonso before. Obviously, this Sunday night, there's a question asked about him. Would you rather go on a walk with you or Grimace? Where were you, or were you watching the game live when that happened?
I was watching it live when it happened.
What was your reaction?
Well, come on, Pete. I mean, I went to his foundation last year. You know, I was on the stage with him. I think I'd be great for a walk with him.
You mentioned the walks. When did the idea for going on walks start, and what was your favorite walk you've been on so far?
Well, it started with J.J. Watt. When he said he wanted to go for a walk, we recorded it, and it just went on from there. And then we had different people. Dwight Gooden's one of my favorite ones. Boomer Esiason was a really good one. Scott Van Pelt. And we're trying to get more scheduled for season 2.
It's awesome. Frank, we mentioned Sunday Night Baseball. Luis Severino, that game, he pitched 6 scoreless innings with 10 strikeouts. What have you seen from him this year?
He's been pretty good most of the season. He's had a few hiccups here and there if he can't find the strike zone, but the Mets rotation's been a little bit better than expected, I would say, overall.
Yeah, I'm happy for him that he's succeeding. Speaking of another Mets pitcher, Edwin Diaz on Sunday night too, getting ejected. Do you think, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, he could not have been more guilty.
Yeah, I agree with you. It was pretty obvious. You saw the picture of his hands. It was covered. Like, what was he doing?
What are your thoughts on the new Mets manager, Carlos Mendoza, coming over from the Yankees? It seems like he's been pretty good from an outside perspective, but from a Mets perspective. What are your thoughts on Carlos Mendoza this year?
I had my doubts about him, but it seems like he's doing a decent job.
Yeah.
It seems like he makes some good adjustments. Lindor going up to the leadoff spot has seemed to give him a boost. The quick hook on Tuesday when Ottavino couldn't throw a strike was good. He's done some good. He's done some good things, I would say.
Yeah, speaking of another Met who's been great this year, Mark Vientos. He's like in the middle of the minors and the majors last year and a half. What have you seen from him this year? Are you happy he's finally getting his chance?
He's got some good. He's got a good power stroke.
Yeah.
And looks like he's learning plate discipline and a good approach. He didn't have that necessarily last year, and I heard that the conversation with Bryce Harper, of all people, told him that he doesn't have to swing so hard, and it really helped him. I mean, it's hard to believe that it took a guy on the Phillies to tell him that, but what the hell?
Frank, obviously Mark Vientos has been really good as one of the young Mets, but another young Met this year, Francisco Alvarez. Since he returned, the Mets have really been getting going. You think it's more Francisco Alvarez returning or Grimace?
Probably Francisco Alvarez. Because look when he got hurt. They were actually 5 games over 500 when he got hurt.
Yeah.
Frank, Jeff McNeil this year has been, pretty horrible. Jeff McNeil, as you call him. Do you think they're going to hold on to him for the rest of the year?
I think Jeff McNeil is basically on the verge of being gone. I don't think he is a good fielder. He's not a good hitter. He doesn't seem like he's a great teammate, and the Mets have better options.
What are your thoughts on maybe the Mets going after someone like Gleyber Torres? I know he's had a struggle year this year, but he could be a much better option than Jeff McNeil.
I'd rather see what Luis Acuna has.
Is there anyone a second baseman that you're looking at the trade market saying that I want the Mets to get him?
Not off the top of my head.
Frank, I see you wearing the Mets City Connect hats. Are you a fan of the Mets City Connect jerseys or not?
I don't hate them, but I don't like the City Connect concept to begin with.
What's your favorite City Connect?
What?
What's your favorite City Connect that you've seen?
I like the Astros City Connect jerseys.
What's your least favorite?
There's so many that are so bad.
I agree.
There's so many that are so bad. Jeez. I mean, the Padres is like an eyesore. A retching eyesore. That's the best way to describe the Padres City Connect jerseys.
I like the Padres.
Jeez. I don't even know what symbol's on the Rangers jersey. That thing just baffles me. They got some that are just so freaking plain. I mean, they're just so Motor City. I mean, there's no like creativity there. It's the Phillies is ugly.
Like the Dodgers, it kind of looks like a kid like splattered paint on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't like the Dodgers at all.
Yeah, that one's not good.
You mentioned earlier.
The Diamondbacks have a decent one. I like the Diamondbacks one.
Frank, you mentioned earlier in the episode about how the wild card in the NL is going to be crazy this year. What 3 teams do you think are going to pull it out of the wild card?
Well, obviously the Braves will be a wild card. I think someone will emerge in the West. Either it'll be the Padres or the Diamondbacks. And if the Mets they can possibly get that third one. I think it's going to be a jumble between the Mets, the Padres, Diamondbacks, and maybe the Cardinals. I think the Central is going to be like the bomb's going to drop out of all those teams. I don't think the Nationals will stay in it. Yeah, the Pirates aren't going to make the playoffs.
Have you seen Paul Skeens pitch this year?
Yeah, he's very good. But you know what's going to happen?
It's going to break.
No. The Pirates are going to be 5-6 games out at the middle of August, and they're going to say, okay, now we're going to limit his innings.
Yeah, I see that happening. Frank, if the Mets do buy at the trade deadline, who's one player that you want the Mets to go after?
There's nobody specific that I really want them to go after. I can't even I don't even know who's available right now.
Position-wise, where would you want?
Relief. Relief help.
Relief help, yeah. A lot of teams though. There's going to be a big market for relievers this year.
Have you seen Mason Miller pitch at all this year? And if so, what are your thoughts on him?
No, I haven't seen him pitch.
Do you think, obviously we said Paul Skeens might break his arm. Do you think it's sustainable what he's doing right now, or do you think he can break his arm?
I'm not saying he's going to break his arm. I'm just saying the Pirates are going to limit his innings eventually. That's how everyone handles these pitchers. He's still in his first full year of professional baseball. I watched him pitch in the College World Series last year. They're not going to let him pitch max effort all the way to the rest of the season.
Like, this is a baseball podcast, but I gotta mention it because you are a Knicks fan. Mikel Bridges getting traded to the Knicks. What are your thoughts on that?
That tells me that the Brooklyn Nets are just a broken franchise. A broken franchise that has no hope. I mean, they got a lot of draft picks, but you got to know how to draft before you can celebrate that. And what are they going to do? Get middle first round picks? You're going to have a situation where a team's going to be playing in front of nobody. In the shadow of the Knicks. Nobody's going to want to go there. They are a disaster.
You don't think the Knicks gave up too much to get Mikel?
No.
He's never made an All-Star team, though.
Yeah, well, he's never been on a good team.
He made the finals with the Suns.
He wasn't a starter at that time. He was just starting out. Now he's with his it's the Nova Knicks all together. And I think they have a chemistry that cannot be topped.
Do you think the Knicks pose the biggest threat to the Celtics?
Yes, I do.
You think they could beat them in a 7-game series?
If the Knicks are healthy, yes.
That's a big if.
Yeah, well, add a few more pieces and that'll be easier to do.
I mean, we've seen with the Knicks, the Yankees should take a page out what the Knicks did because the Knicks had no depth, and that's what ended up costing them. And that's what it looks like is happening to this Yankee team. The lack of depth is killing them.
Yeah, well,
it's tough to have depth though when you have like a $290 million payroll. Like, it's tough when you're paying like 5 guys over $30 million a year. You can't really have depth. And that's
the big problem with the Yankees is actually that Gleyber Torres sucked. He was supposed to be the next big star. DJ LeMahieu, he's over the hill. Giancarlo Stanton, he breaks down every year. And Anthony Rizzo, he's basically breaking a bone. I mean, but he's had some injury breakdowns. So the Yankees got to maybe rely on some of these guys from the minors. Ben Rice. I mean, that's what they're going to have to do.
Your Dolphins. What are your expectations for your Dolphins for this upcoming season?
If they could get a defense and stay healthy, they should be able to at least win a playoff game.
I hope so too. I like watching the Dolphins play. Do you think Tua is the answer to this Dolphins team?
This is the year that the jury is out. He has to take a step forward this year.
I think getting Odell is going to help him, though. He has like 3 legit, good weapons to be throwing the ball to with Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and Odell.
Yep.
All right, Frank, I think that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you for coming on. It's always a pleasure having you.
All right. Talk to you later.
Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys later. Have a good time.
All right.